was a real mom and pop operation. We have it going from my office. And Cynthia considered it the unborn child, Imprint. The original name came out of just brainstorming with her. The first name was Ink, and then she said Imprint, and I questioned whether that was an M or an N, and she said, thought that was an interesting idea. It was really a good pun, and we should use Imprint. So that's how we got started.
I think one of the things that we became famous for early on were literary lunches, in which we would eat at the homes of some of our board members and talk about what we would do if we ever figured out a way to make some money for the organization. There were two really essential things that happened. One was the gift of the $1 million, and the other one, I think, was the Poets and Writers Ball, because they gave us something to begin working with. You could do a book about the table decorations. From the start, it played a key part in this affair. Shrines big and small to the books that have marked our lives.
We were asked about what are you most proud of in Imprint's 27 years. It's really the contributions to the students that makes me happiest. It helps them finish a novel, finish a collection, do something important. They stay in the community in major ways. They stay teaching. They teach in the universities. They teach at colleges. They teach at Rice. They teach in the high schools. I was married to the writer Donald Barthelme, who I think was very instrumental in Inprint.
Don really presented the charge. One was to develop enough of a source of funding so we could really get the very best students by becoming competitive financially. And the second was to establish a major high-quality international literary journal.
The first journal was called, actually, Domestic Crude, and they soon realized that they maybe needed to change their name to something a little bit nicer. So anyway, it became Gulf Coast.
The challenge was to give a public face to an art that occurs largely in private.
In the beginning it was for students, then it was held in a much smaller venue, and then it enlarged as we were beginning to develop. So there was a real, really wonderful service to the community.
The reading series became very established when it got its grant from the Brown Foundation. But before that, it went along on love and camaraderie.
It's very important to a lot of people. It's great to meet the writers, but it's also great to be with your friends in that particular context, I think. Everybody wants to be, or envisions themselves as maybe not so much as being a writer, but being a chronicler of their experience.
The Imprint workshops for all kinds of people in the community.
Go from 5-year-olds to 90-year-olds, and teaching them how to organize their memories and their thoughts around things that can be shared with other people.
When you get a memoir out of a woman who's 97 years old, and to know her joy at that.
The work that comes in is really extraordinary.
It's reached into many different communities and many different ages. So you have senior memoirs and you have Cool Brains, which Imprint started for the young people. That makes for a great community to be in.
They're like little elementary school or student rock concerts, right? I mean, they come in and listen to someone who's heroic to them or who's created a character that's heroic, and you love to sort of follow their tale.
I would say that what Imprint has done, along with many other things, has been to nurture a connection with the readers and writers.
There's a much broader sustaining base than we ever could have imagined. And at the same time, the creative writing program has been supported strongly, and that's had its own development into a much more mature, richer, and sustaining kind of support than we had ever mentioned. So all this went far beyond what the original founders could have imagined.
So I think that it's all just this wonderful synergy that happens.
Friendships remain the glue that binds Imprint. That and an abiding consideration for the word and for the poets and writers that make Houston a special place. Cheers.
Cheers.
The little imprint that could.